Good morning, CC families. This is cycle 3, week 15, and we're going to start with English today like I usually do. I made these books for each of my students. I have little ones. I have 4 and 5-year-olds. So I made these at the beginning of the year. I decorated the front and put their names on each of them so they have their own personal book. I keep them each week, but I bring them back, lay them out on the table so they're there when the kids walk in. And then I pre-write all of this, and then I'm just gonna have them write to write, because that's what we're doing this week, on the horizontal line here. Since again, I have little ones, it's good for them to practice writing. And then if they want to, they can trace some of the different tenses we have here. And then we're gonna sing the same tune that we've been singing to If You're Happy and You Know It. And it goes like this. To write, writes, wrote, writing, written. 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 I'll do it one more time. To write, writes, wrote, writing, written. 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 So again, that's to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It. I got this idea from Driven by Grace, so you could check her out. She has great ideas. And I'm also this week, since we're doing to write, I'm gonna have a piece of paper I'm going to hand out to each student in a different colored marker. And we're going to sing it again, and I'm going to encourage them to write anything they want. They could write a letter. They could try to write a short word. Whatever level your kids are at, you could, change that for them. I'm going to have them write something as we sing this song through. And then I'm going to have them switch their paper to somebody else. And so they're going to get a new paper, somebody else has written something on it, then they're going to write their own thing as we sing the song through again. And I'm going to do that each time so each kid has a chance to write on each piece of paper. And then after we do that, we'll have sung the song, however many kids you have. I have, I think, 5 right now. So we'll they'll have them hold up their papers when they're done, and they can kind of see the little design or what different people wrote on them since we're doing to write. So I'm planning to do that as well. I also like to give them a sticker after we've done this, and they put their sticker on the front of their book. And we, by the end of the year, they'll have 24 stickers. So you can see I have a few little body part stickers since we were doing the body a couple weeks ago. I have a few more of those left, so I'll probably give those out again. Again, I've decorated these books with their names on them, so the books I hand out to the kids don't look like this, but I had a visitor one week, and so they just put stickers on that. So that is English for this week. Then we're gonna do timeline. For timeline, I am first going to, let me get this, sorry. I have these big timeline cards I got from Classical Conversations bookstore. I love them. I use them each week at home and in class. I like to put the first letter of each event on each card, again, just because I have little kids, and so it helps them identify what is what. So this week I'm gonna have these cards hidden around the class before we start class. So I'll do that before, and then I'm gonna have them each go find 1 or 2, depending on how many kids I have. And so they'll go around the room, they'll find their cards, they'll bring them back to the table. And then we're gonna sing the song together, and when we get to each event, so like the first one, Japan's isolation, I'll say, who has Japan's isolation? What does Japan start with? I'll say, J. Oh, I have it. And so I'll have 7 pieces of painter's tape on the wall, and they'll go put the card on the correct piece of tape. And then we'll do the next one. Next one, Jamestown and Plymouth Colony. Who has, what does that start with? Oh, that starts with J too. Who has another J? and then whoever has that will go stick it on the wall, etc. So I just do the first letter, you know, some of them are repeats, but we talk about like, oh, well, you both have J. One of them is Japan, one of them is Jamestown. Let's figure it out. And then we kind of spell the first few letters together to figure it out. So they'll have all the cards on the wall in the correct order. And then what I'm gonna do is, I love these. I found these on Classical Conversation or CC Connected. They're like mini timeline cards. I've used them in a couple previous weeks too, but my kids really love them, so I'm gonna use them again this week. So what I did is I printed enough for each kid and laminated them and have them in a little baggie for each student. So I'm gonna hand out a bag to each student with them in it, and they're gonna be, you know, not in the correct order, scrambled up. And so the kids are gonna take them out and put them on there in front of them on the table. And then I'm going to have them try to look at the timeline cards that we just put up on the wall and see if they can match their cards and put them in the right order. And, you know, some of my younger kids I'll help more. Some of the little bit older ones I think can do it. So I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see how it goes, but I think it'll be fun. And then once they have them in order, I found these little light up sticks. You hit it and it lights up, really fun like that. I found them from Kohl's, so I don't know if they still have them or not, but you could probably find something like this on Amazon too. And I'm going to have them, so they're gonna have the cards in order, and then we're gonna sing the song again as they kind of hit each one in order as we say each event. So that is what I'm planning to do for a timeline. I'm also, depending on time, I like to have the kids go stand in front of the big cards that I have on the wall, and then we go over the motions together. So I will plan on doing that unless we're just kind of running behind, because we've already done the motions together as a big group, but I like doing them as a small group too. We always, in our community, we meet together as like a big group, all the age groups together, and we go over the timeline song and do the motions together, and then we split up into age groups, and then I like to do it again. So for this week, we're gonna start with Japan's isolation. So it goes, we make like a shape of Japan. So Japan's isolation, and we go around like this with our finger. So that is Japan's isolation, Japan's isolation. And then we're gonna do Jamestown. So we're gonna make a J, Jamestown, and Plymouth. I'm gonna make my P, Plymouth Colony founded. So I'm gonna found it. So again, Jamestown and Plymouth Colony founded. You could just like go like this for founded too, either way. So then after that, I'm gonna do Age of Enlightenment. So we're going to go to our head and go Age of Enlightenment, like this. And then if you want to do the time period, you can circa 1650 to circa 1800. I'm not going to worry about that since I have just such young kids, but you could sign that if you wanted to. And then Hudson's Bay Colony. So we're going to make an H for Hudson. And then we're going to kind of like make like fur, Hudson Bay's Company. Sorry, I said colony, the company. So we're going to go like that. And then after that, we are going to, excuse me. So Hudson H. Bay's Company. And then First Great Awakening. So we're going to go like over our eyes and go boop, First Great Awakening. And then Classical Periods of the Arts. So we're going to go like this. And then the 7 Years' War. So I'm going to make a 7, and then years, go like this, and then war. So I'll do that one more time to kind of the tune of the song. So we're gonna start with Japan's isolation. So go like this. Japan's isolation, Jamestown and Plymouth Colony founded. age of enlightenment, circa 1650 to circa 1800. Hudson's Bay Company, first great awakening, classical period of the arts, the 7 Years' War. So that is timeline this week. For geography this week, we're going to do the Great Lakes. And so I'm going to hand out these Trivium table maps. I'm going to trace each lake just in the different colors. So as we go over them, I can say, okay, point to the blue one, that's Lake Huron. Point to the pink one, that's Lake Ontario, etc. So it kind of helps them identify which one I'm talking about. And then in a little bit, I'll have them color the lakes in with their dry erase markers. So, and we've been doing this all semester where they trace the United States, the outline. And so a lot of them want to keep doing that. So I'll let them keep doing that if they want. I don't prep the map with that, but I'm just showing you that they like to trace the outside of it. So when we do the Great Lakes, we're going to learn an acronym, HOMES. It helps us remember them. So the first letter of each one. So Huron, H, Huron, O, Ontario, M, Michigan, and then E, Erie, and S, Superior. And we're going to sing a song to the tune of Home, Home on the Range. I got this idea from Happy Learning. You can look her up. She has all kinds of great songs. So, and I found this little guy from, I think, Target or the dollar store, I forget. But since we're doing the lakes, we're going to touch it with him where you could find like a little fish or something like that. So, our song goes like this. Home, home on the Great Lakes, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Superior. I'll try that one more time. Home, home on the Great Lakes, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Superior. So you can have them sing that. And so that's kind of why I do the order I do. Timeline, we're up, we're doing the motions together. And then geography, we kind of sit down and they like to color in their maps. So again, after we sing, I'll give them dry erase markers and they can just color in their lakes. We'll maybe review some of the mountains we talked about, some of the states, etc. So that is geography. And then after geography, we're going to do math. So for math, I made Play-Doh for my kids. Super easy. You could look up, just make your own Play-Doh if you've never done that before. You just need cream of tartar and salt and flour. And it's great. I like using this rather than bringing in our own Play-Doh just because I don't have that much of it. A lot of it's hard now. And you could also make this different colors. I might do that if I have time, or you could just leave it like this. So I made these little cards index cards on popsicle sticks for our math this week, since we're talking about metric measurements. So I have these 3, and I also have this printable I got from Kimberly. I'll link her below. It's just really pretty. I'm going to have it on my board. So as we sing our little song to the tune of 10 Little Indians, I'm going to have them, the kids have 3 piles of Play-Doh, and I'm going to have them stick their sticks into the piles as we sing. So I will try to do that as I sing and show you. So we're going to first sing the song again to the tune 10 Little Indians. So we'll start with our 10 and we'll say 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. And then we'll do our 100. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. And we'll do our 1,000. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. So I'll sing it one more time. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. And then you could have them go and like take their sticks out each time as you sing it too. And then, you know, if they need like a little break, they could play with the Play-Doh a little bit after you're done singing that. So just kind of a fun way to change up math. So that is math, and then we're gonna do history. So history, we're talking about immigrants coming to America. So I have another pretty printable from Kimberly. And what I do is I'm gonna put that on my board, and I'm also gonna write up the history sentence with some silly words in there, because my kids really love when I do this. So what I do is I'm gonna read the history sentence normally to my kids, and I'm gonna tell them to listen really carefully, because I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna put some silly words in there, and you gotta see if you can figure out the silly words. And if you hear a silly word, raise your hand. So then I'm gonna say, from 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million, and I'll be, million? No, it's not million, what should be? Million. Okay, sorry, I'll try again. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to Alligator. Alligator? No, it should be not Alligator, America. Oh, okay, let me try again. So you see, I'm gonna read it like all the way from the beginning correctly into the next silly word each time. So they're hearing it correctly a lot. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking vegetarian, no, what, not vegetarian, seeking freedom. Okay, and then the other ones I'm gonna do are tummy instead of opportunity, and Ursula instead of personal. So you can do that. Then I'm going to, I think this week, I'm gonna play the history song for them, the Classical Conversations history song. Kind of goes like this. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and the opportunity, cha-ching, to increase their personal wealth, cha-ching. And I'm gonna hand out these action cards that I have. I'll link below where I found them, but like Soldier March or Penguin Waddle. And just to kind of get us up and moving, I'm going to give each kid one, and then have us listen to the song, kind of sing along with the song as we do our action cards. So like Soldier March from 1820 to 1930, etc. So that'll just kind of get some energy out, hopefully. And that is history. For Latin this week, we are doing John 1 through 7. And for this one, we're going to present this as a class, as a whole group, a big group at the end of the year. And so I'm gonna really just work with my kids on the words and the hand motions. So that's kind of what our focus is gonna be. And so on my board, I'm gonna have written down, this week we're doing omnia per ipsum facta sunt. All things were made by him. So I'm gonna have that written on my board, and I'm gonna have it color coded. So omnia is gonna be pink, and all things will also be pink. And then per will be green, and by will be green, because those correspond. Ipsum will be orange, and him will be orange. And then facta sunt will be purple, and were made will be purple. So I'm gonna have those color coded so they know what means what. And for this one, so I'm gonna sing from the beginning until this part, because that's how I'm gonna do it in class. We're gonna start from the beginning each time so we get the words and the hand motions down really well. But again, this week we're doing omnia per ipsum facta sunt. All things were made by him. But I'm gonna start at the beginning. Here we go. So John 1, 1 through 7. In Principio erat verbum, in the beginning was the Word. Et verbum erat apud Deum, and the Word was with God. Et Deus erat verbum, and the Word was God. Hoc erat in principio apud Deum, this was with God in the beginning. Omnia per ipsum facta sunt, all things were made by him. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time with the motions. So bear with me, I'm kind of trying to learn this too. I will link the video where I'm getting this. She's great, she does a much better job than me, so you can watch her video too. So let's see if I can do it a little bit better this time. So again, we're starting John 1, 1 through 7. So here we go. In Principio erat verbum, in the beginning was the Word. Et verbum erat apud Deum, and the Word was with God. Et Deus erat verbum, and the Word was God. Hoc erat in principio apud Deum, this was with God in the beginning. Omnia per ipsum facta sunt, all things were made by him. So that is Latin this week. For science this week, we are doing what are some parts of an atom. And so I have this really cool printable from Kimberly again. I love her stuff. So I'm going to explain to them just the different parts. We've got the nucleus, which is the core of an atom made of protons and neutrons. And then we've got protons, which are positively charged particles. They're teeny tiny. Neutrons, which have no charge, and electrons, which are negatively charged, and they are smaller than protons. And then we have quarks, which are fundamental particles too, and there are 6 flavors of them, which is kind of fun. The flavors are up, down, charm, strange, top, and bottom. So a proton has 2 down quarks and a proton is 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. And a neutron is 2 down quarks and 1 up quark. And then a lepton, leptons have 6 types, and one of the types is electrons. So just kind of some fun info. You can share some of that with your kids. Fun fact is an atom is majority air. So if suppose the nucleus of the atom had a diameter of 2 feet, then the outermost electron would be 3 miles out, which is crazy. So you could share that with your kids too. I got the information from the science card from ccconnected. So that is science, and we're going to sing a song to the Addams family. Appropriate, right? So it goes like this. There's neutrons and there's protons, nucleus and quarks, electrons and there's leptons, the Addams family, do-do-do-do. There's neutrons and there's protons, nucleus and quarks, there's electrons and there's leptons, the Addams family, do-do-do-do. So I'm going to do it one more time. There's neutrons and there's protons, nucleus and quarks, electrons and there's leptons, the Addams family, do-do-do-do. So that is science. I also have this science coloring page from Etsy. I like blue where I got that. I'm going to hand this out to the students. I also had one for history too. And what I like to do for review, since my kids are so little, they're just like done by the end. They're tired. It's nap time for some of them. So I'm just going to pass these out and they can take them home, or they can start coloring them a little bit while we listen to some review songs. I make a playlist with the songs that we do for each week on my computer on iTunes. So I'm just gonna play back the last couple weeks' songs while they color a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do for review. And for presentations, I am going to do this. I'm really excited about this, but since we are doing immigrants for history, I'm going to say, okay, since you've been learning about immigrants and they traveled a long way from their homes to get to America, I want you to pretend you're going on a trip and have to pack some things to take with you. So they're going to present about where are you going on your trip? What did you have to pack and why? Why did you choose to pack those things? So that is going to be the presentation topic this week. So I hope that helps. Just let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'll link below where I got the stuff I use as much as I can. And have a wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.